all start going wrong. From talking on the phones. Victory, victory, gold on my neck, Mr. T. Victory, victory, zombie gang rapping that NYC. Victory, victory, ice on my neck like a little weak. We run like a paraclete. It's on earth, but it's where I be. Money over on my head stone. Here lies them getting paid for. Never take a loss on my head stone. Only take a when I'm dead. I be gang 3 times on my head stone. Been from the cradle to the grave. Now your favorite rapper name on a headstone. Too late, you already there. Imagine when you're 30,000 feet up, what you think of? Oh, I hated knowing that my thoughts would turn to dream. Cause I never knew I'd get my chance to link up. Oh, I tell you all of this unusual to me. Swear I came from the bottom, flappers living, walking dead on. Put your favorite rapper's name up on the headstone. Big for the cheese and you're dead wrong. Propaganda said the standards in the tear down.
Throw it back, yeah, I'm born to it's talking, it's hot, so leave me where I'm at. I'm living how I want now, no reason to look out, it's clear to see. All eyes on me for 100 degrees. Who am I? Ruthless, easy does it. In public, hated to love it. The underdogs with liquor swabs. It was written in my diary to start a war. I'm feeling infamous, immortal with my technique. A revolutionary shining with diamond teeth. Young Don Cartagena, excuse my demeanor. This the glamour life, you still not a player, you ain't half as nice. I'm born again, life after death. I made the sacrifice, I'm super duper fly. Juicy, keep them hypnotized. I said my name is Juice, America's most. Ain't no half stepping, see you at the crossroads.
Money over on my head stone. Here lies them getting paid for. Never take a loss on my head stone.
An early battle for 2 NFC heavyweights. It's the coach. This is week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see 2 teams looking to bounce back from disappointing seasons a year ago, as it'll be the Carolina Panthers playing host to the Dallas Cowboys. I'll be back with you at halftime with a look at the other games that are going on. But now let's get up to Charlotte. Standing by, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. A short time ago, a scene that never fails to stir up the folks here in Charlotte. Cam Newton strutting his way onto the field. His guys are fired up as they get set to go toe-to-toe with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
No more training camp, no more exhibitions. The 2018 NFL season on EA Sports is underway. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They will be led out by their starting quarterback since his arrival back in 2011. It's Cam Newton.
One of the great physical specimens that's ever played the quarterback position in the NFL. It's not just the numbers that he generates, it's the threat of what he can do. You have to play him not just for the pass, but for the run. And getting him on the ground in either situation, a very difficult task for any defense.
They give him a gain of 38.
Right, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. And the offensive starters for the Panthers.
And Christian McCaffrey, one of my favorite players in the 2017 draft. He didn't disappoint. Had 80 catches as a rookie. Look for him to be more actively involved in the running game in 2018. Yes, he can run between the tackles.
To throw on second down is Newton. Got a man right side, it's McCaffrey. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I don't think what we just saw there was any surprise, because when Christian McCaffrey came out of Stanford, we knew he was a threat running it and catching it. And any way you can get the ball in his hands, he wanted to do so. Personally, I thought he ran the best routes of anyone coming out of his draft class, and that included the wide receivers.
Last year, 80 receptions, also in the return game. He's a bit of a Swiss Army knife, isn't he?
He certainly is. Every which way you want to go, however you want to package him, I do think his running production will increase in 2018.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On 2nd down, here's Newton. His throw incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. And it's 3rd and 4.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game, too.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
He'll drop it off to McCaffrey, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and just like that, it's 3rd down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area. But they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
But that doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
And Gano's kick is right through. And the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope. The good things are in store here today for them.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be brought out by a man who hails from Sulphur, Louisiana, played his college ball at Mississippi State, the quarterback Dak Prescott.
The numbers he put up as a rookie, outstanding. But were they really, truly sustainable? Remember, they were 13-3 his rookie season. They ended up going 9-7 in 2017. How about they went from 4 interceptions in 2016 as a rookie to 13 his second year? These are numbers that you didn't expect to stay the same, but I do expect Dak Prescott to continue to get better and better as a quarterback in the NFL.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And he's got it to Hurns. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Again to Elliott. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Dontari Poe in on the stop.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Prescott to throw it. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
Now back to the ground with Elliott. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They'll pitch it out to Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys are in for 6. And there he had to break multiple tackles to earn that touchdown. Bottom line, he earned that touchdown.
Indeed he did. That was pretty much a get-off-of-me run and all the way into the end zone.
And now Jason Garrett electing for his guys to try for 2. Here's Prescott. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. We turn our attention to the Panthers as they come out here on offense, and it's been an interesting 3-year run. You look back to their Super Bowl appearance, then they dropped to 6-10 a couple of years ago. Last year back in the playoffs with 11 wins. So what in 2018?
I think a continuation of 2017 and an expansion on what we saw. It's always going to be a tough-minded team. They want to run the ball inside, and Cam Newton can be your short yardage runner as well as play the quarterback position and throw it. But they want to open things up. Remember, they drafted Christian McCaffrey last year, want to get him the ball in open space. They ended up drafting DJ Moore this year, so they want to be more explosive down the field throwing the football. And Luke Kuechly is a heck of a building block on defense. This is a team that fully expects to contend in the NFC South, and they think they can go much deeper in the playoffs. Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
From the gun on 3rd down, Newton, and that is incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
Now Austin. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Cowboys offense. The wild optimism going into last season, of course, because they were coming off that 13-3 year, but they faded a bit last year as they dropped to a good but not great 9-7.
The good thing for Dallas, they play in a pretty volatile division in the NFC East. There hasn't been a repeat champion in the East since 2003-2004, and that was Philadelphia, who currently holds the crown right now. But this is a Dallas team that I think has worked its way through some adversity. They've lost some key veteran players along the way the last 2 years. So the face of the franchise, actually the face is quarterback Dak Prescott. But to me, the guy who really makes them go, running back Ezekiel Elliott. If they get 16 out of him, expect Dallas to be in the thick of things.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the... And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Julius Peppers in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. A reminder coming up at the half, we hook up with a new guy, Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis, and more importantly this year, scores and stats from around the league here in week 1. So do not press that skip button. Throw left side complete. That's Thompson. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 23 yards on the play.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Thompson. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Here's Prescott. And this is caught at the 8. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Cole Beasley, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? R-A-C?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you got to circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go. So you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball is kicked, where they have to be when the ball is caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
Throwing is Newton. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain,
Still first down.
for not on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Out of the gun, Newton. And Olsen over the middle. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A gain of 6 there on first. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here's Newton now on second down. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
He's going to go deep for Beasley. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way to the opposite 49-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Prescott on first down. He hits Beasley right side. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So they are going to call on Dan Bailey here. His career long is 56 yards done in Seattle. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. So we've reached halftime. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever, vertical stretch, deep passes, go routes, right? What's that route you love? What's that route you love? Four verts. All of it working because they're able to find ways to get deep and for him to show off that big, big arm.
We see some of that big arm right here. He has been great. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Prescott from the gun. Flushed out right. Wide open receiver complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. A gain of 32 that time.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
They just get the play off. Now Prescott. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for Terrence Williams that time. And that'll bring up second down. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
Over the middle, complete. It's Thompson. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 23 yards on the play.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now Elliott. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. He's going to get it running right. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense and at times will actually make checks just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try to get the running game going with McCaffrey. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
From the gun on 3rd down. Newton losing 9 yards there. And it also brings up 4th. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Here's Austin.
Whoosh.
And once more.
Oh, that's sweet.
What an effort. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. First down, Prescott. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. The give is to Elliott. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
A little work still to do, though. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Delay of game, offense.
This certainly feels like they were wanting to go for 2, but weren't really sure they should go for 2. Do we, don't we, do we, don't we? And guess what ends up happening?
5-yard penalty.
That's right. Now you probably line up and kick the extra point.
Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. Bailey got the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better?
And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Taco Charlton in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. 3rd and long, it's Newton. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Now, no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Brandon, this is why play callers get the big bucks. This wasn't a 4th and inches call. You get into situations like 4th and 3, 4th and 4. You've got a tough decision to make. Very gutsy play here, and they pick up the first down.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Newton now to throw. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And the Cowboys have recovered.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget. Absolutely. Looking to throw. Prescott. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
I know you're thinking it, but I'll just go ahead and say it. To give you an idea of how sharp he's been in this game, just his 2nd incompletion, and we're in the 4th quarter.
He has been locked in, laser-focused all throughout this one, hasn't he?
He certainly has, and he's got some help from his receivers as well. They also are locked in.
Yeah, the drops have been at a bare minimum.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Cowboys use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the gun, here's Newton. Caught left side by Funchess. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. Well, Prescott here to throw. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 35. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
A 1st down throw for Prescott. Caught left side, Williams. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 11 more on that one and another 1st down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
Again, it's Elliott. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Smith trying to run for it. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. One man in the backfield. That's Elliott on 2nd and goal. He's going to get him running right. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American